Kitco News special coverage of the New Orleans Investment Conference is brought to you by Uranium Energy Corp., Uranium Royalty, GoldMining, and Gold Royalty Corp.
From Alaska to Brazil, GoldMining has a large portfolio of projects totaling 6.2 million in measured and indicated, and also in the inferred resource category of gold equivalent. GoldMining is ticker GLDG on the NYSE and gold on the TSX. CEO is Alastair Still. Alastair, welcome to Kitco.
Thanks for having me, Michael. Pleasure to be here this afternoon.
Can you take us through GoldMining? I counted over a dozen projects on your site.
Yeah, absolutely. GoldMining is kind of a unique company where we've assembled a diverse portfolio of gold-based assets throughout the Americas. As you say, there's some 14 projects. 11 of those projects have mineral resource estimates calculated on them, totaling some 16.2 million ounces measured and indicated, and a further 16.2 million ounces inferred, making it one of the largest resource inventory companies in our sector. And that gives us a bit of a unique perspective, and particularly considering that all of our projects are very much and entirely focused in the Americas.
Can you talk about the dual approach to developing these projects?
Yeah, absolutely. We recognize with the type of company we are, we're not able to advance all of the projects ourselves. So we're starting to advance the projects right now using our own team and our own capital. At the same time, too, we'll be needing partnerships and partners in many cases where there's synergies and opportunities to combine and consolidate regions and camps and make projects stronger and more sustainable, more robust economically. So we're looking for partnerships on those fronts. At the same time, too, we're also still continuing to look for opportunities where we can grow our portfolio, where there are opportunistic projects that might become available or opportunities that we'll continue to evaluate and invest in.
Can you highlight any of the projects?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say of the projects, 11 of those we have mineral resource estimates on. Some 9 of those are greater than 1 million gold equivalent ounces. But that means that there's a number of projects that are certainly key within that. And of those projects, 3 of them we've actually started to do preliminary economic assessment work on. We've started or otherwise known as a PEA, and we've started a PEA on our Yellowknife project in Canada. It's a high-grade open pit, mainly open pit, and a little bit of underground resource just north of Yellowknife in Canada's Northwest Territories. It's a project we're working on a PEA with right now. We also have, staying in the northern part of the Americas, a very large resource on our Whistler project. It's just shy of 10 million gold equivalent ounces in all categories. A gold and gold copper porphyry style mineralization. There's a little bit of epithermal mineralization there too, but a very large scale project that we're continuing to evaluate and see where we can advance that and develop on further. And then if we move to South America, we also have a number of projects which we're advancing on right now. The first of which is our San Jorge project in Brazil, which has a new resource that was calculated earlier this year. It's 1.4 million ounces in different resource categories, an open pit resource north of 1 gram per ton. And it's got the additional advantage there at San Jorge. It is situated in Pará state, so it's a good mining-friendly state. We're very close to infrastructure, near a major state highway. We're near power lines, so all the right ingredients to advance that project further. If I could mention one other project too, we've also started a PEA project on our La Mina project in Colombia. In Colombia, we have 3 projects, but La Mina is unique in that it has an exceptional drill target on it right now on our La Garucha project. And as we advance and develop plans with our local stakeholders to prepare to drill for that project, we've also engaged with an engineering firm, to advance the PEA study. So we're best able to understand the economics, what are the key drivers on the project, so when we start our drilling up, we know where we can add the best value to it.
I don't want to confuse any viewers, but I believe that the Whistler is based in Alaska. Is that correct, Alastair?
Yes, it is. Whistler is in Alaska. It's certainly not to be confused with the resort here in BC, but it's not a. It's about 200 kilometers from Anchorage. It's in quite a proactive for development part of the state. The state itself is looking at various opportunities, how they can open up this sector for development and industry-based activity. And as we know, mining still is a very key driver of the economy in Alaska. So if there's any state or federal funding that might help with studies towards a road, that certainly would be a great long-term benefit for a project like Whistler in Alaska.
Why the focus on the Americas?
Very simple is that it's the best area where we can see a best return for our investors and our shareholders. We think that these are mining-friendly jurisdictions that have a long history of operating safely and with good relations with government and stakeholders. And it's that stability that gives us comfort here working in the Americas. With any mining project, there's always going to be project risk in terms of resources and reserves. And that's accepted in our industry. But if we can take away the risk of where we're operating, that certainly we think gives us a leg up on our competition, who may have to struggle in different jurisdictions where they may have challenges beyond the technical ones.
You're well funded?
We are. We have the additional benefit right now. We have the great flexibility on our balance sheet. We created a new company earlier this year from assets within gold mining called Gold Royalty. We spun those assets. We wrote small royalties, on our portfolio of assets, created a new royalty company, which is led by David Garofalo, and we launched that on the New York Stock Exchange. And through that process, in creating Gold Royalty, GoldMining is still the largest shareholder, and we own 20 million shares in that company, and they're currently trading at over $5 US per share. And so having over $100 million worth of those shares gives us a great asset on our balance sheet, and flexibility for how we advance our own projects going forward.
Can you tell us about the management team? I think starting with your chair, that's a well-known Amir Adnani, a well-known name here at Kitco.
Yeah, absolutely. Amir is our chairman and founder, and has shown a great ability to generate value for shareholders over the years. Not only is he the founder of GoldMining, but he also has 2 royalty companies he's founded and led. Uranium Energy Corp and Uranium Royalty Corporation, and earlier this year, as I mentioned, that we've created a new entity called Gold Royalty Corp, which is Amir was co-founder on. David Garofalo brought in to lead it, and I have a dual role there, where I'm also the director of technical services with the royalty company. So we're sharing some expertise, sharing some ideas amongst the team, and would point out that the CEO of Gold Royalty, David Garofalo, and his Chief Development Officer, John Griffith, are also both advisors to GoldMining as well.
With the money you raised, you have some key shareholders at GoldMining.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly for myself, when I decided to leave Newmont after a long career extending from Gold Corp through the merger, certainly one of the key characteristics of a company I wanted to work with was companies that had long-term investors who were oriented in the resource space and there for the long term. And that's certainly the case with Amir Adnani, our chairman and co-founder. He's one of the largest shareholders in the company. And along with Amir, we also have Mario Garnero, who is a long-term shareholder. He's been there from the start. He also runs and manages Brazil Invest, an investment firm based out of Brazil. So having those long-term investors and a commitment for the future was something that was important to me. It was also important to note that there's a number of key institutional investors who are invested in GoldMining as well. Extract Capital, Sprott, and Ruffer, just to name a few, are some of the resource sector focused institutions who are also significantly invested in GoldMining, and that's a good sign for me when I was looking to join this company as well.
What's some news investors should watch for over the next 12 months that might be a catalyst for the stock, Alastair?
That's a great question, and we're certainly very excited to have turned the corner from really being a company that was an accumulator of projects to a company that's now advancing and developing our own projects. So as we advance the projects, as we advance our PEA studies, as we begin and lay the pathwork for doing some exploration work, and as we engage with companies who are looking to partner with us on projects, there should be a steady flow of news coming out as our projects are moved forward. And really the key here is that as the projects are moved forward, we unlock value. We think there's a tremendous value in our portfolio with the resource base that's present, with the past demonstration that we've shown of unlocking over $100 million in value by creating Gold Royalty Corporation. We think there's an awful lot more value to be generated from our shareholders yet.
Alastair, thank you for speaking with Kitco.
It's been a pleasure. Have a great afternoon, Michael.
He's CEO Alastair Still of GoldMining. My name is Michael McRae, and you are watching Kitco Mining.
Kitco News special coverage of the New Orleans Investment Conference is brought to you by Uranium Energy Corp, Uranium Royalty, GoldMining and Gold Royalty Corp,